Hi guys, thanks for returning here to see my channel. My name is Sandra if you have not been here before, and today we are going to do a get ready with me date night edition. So my look is going to be aiming for a bronzy smoky eye. I'm not going to do a black eyeliner. I'm going to stick with the coppery brownie theme, and we're just going to see how it looks and how it plays out. So I tentatively have 3 shadow palettes out. I'm not sure which one I'm going to use, but I'll list all of them just in case. So first one is my Kat Von D Shade and Light eye palette. This is just the matte version. So you can see this is my broken one I mentioned in videos I've posted already. This has a lot of warm tones that I might like to use. We're going to see because I think it might be a good idea to go in with a bronzer first too. So I'll take a look. And this one is the same thing, but the shimmer palette. So Kat Von D Shade and Light Eye Shimmer palette. And the final one that I was thinking of maybe using today is this MAC Mischief Minx eye palette. And this is what it looks like. It's got a lot of those warm brownie shimmery tones. So we're going to play around and see. But first things first, I have already moisturized, but to get into that summery bronzy vibe, I'm going to spritz on some of this Brazilian Crush Body Fragrance Mist. And I swear, you guys, it smells like Brazilian suntan. I'm not sure, for those of you who've gone to the tanning booths, I think I just inhaled perfume. For those of you who have ever tanned in a tanning booth, it smells like their tanning lotions. It just, oh my goodness, it smells so nice. Okay, so before anything, I am not going to start with my face like I usually do because there could be a lot of fallout with this look. But I will start by priming my eyelids. So I think we're going to use some Tarte Shape Tape, and we'll use light sand. So I use this to prime my eyelids too before shadow. So I'll put a little bit on the lid. I will just use my sponge to put it all over my eyelid, and we'll have to set it with either some loose powder or we will use the bone colored shade in the shadow palette. So yes, it's date night tonight, and frankly I have no idea what we're doing. I'm going to drop my son off at my mother's and kind of play it by ear, so it could be really spontaneous and a fun night. We're going to play it by ear. I'm so excited. Okay, so now that that's done, sorry guys, I'm gonna have to ruffle around for brushes throughout this video. I'm going to go into the shimmer palette first, the Kat Von D. I'm going to take this large E50 Sigma fluff brush and just take the bone colored shade. This is a matte shade. It is not shimmer by any means. And I'm going to put that all over the lid. And because I didn't use an actual setting powder, this just sets the concealer down so the other shadows won't shift and move around on my eyelid. And also so the shadows won't skip. Done. Okay, so now I think would be a good idea if we take an E40 tapered blending brush by Sigma, and I'm going to start this look off by using this Benefit Pretty in the USA palette with the Hoola Bronzer, the infamous bronzer that is talked about all over Instagram and YouTube. And we're going to start by defining the crease and the brow bone a little bit. So I think I want this look to be a little blown out. I think this is the shirt I will be wearing. So it's kind of like a paisley pattern, but there's some gold in it and there's a little bit of bronze. So this is going to be the perfect eye look to go with this shirt. And then I like to wear a black cardigan over it because I find every time when you go out, it's dark and black always gives a slimming effect. And my cardigan, I would love to show it to you right now, but we're busy doing eyes. It has some really nice rose gold detailing on the cuffs and also on the shoulders, and it's just the cutest thing ever. I think I actually got it at Winners. You know what they say about Winners, if you don't buy it right then and there, you try going back and finding it, it's gone. That's happened to me on more than one occasion. Okay, so we're just going to buff that all in the crease, and I'm adding a little bit more as we go. And remember, it doesn't really matter if you get fallout because you can wipe that away with a makeup wipe since we haven't done our face yet. So I want it to be a really blown out look, but I am leaving a little white patch at the top underneath my actual eyebrow just to kind of give the brow definition. And this just creates some shadow. So really blown out, really wide. You can see this huge line here. And I want to define a little bit more at the start of my brow. So when we put our highlight on our nose and our forehead, this is going to be very, very defined and pretty. Okay, and I think that's all I'll do there. Now before I go any further, I actually like to do my waterline. Just need to sharpen my pencil. So this is actually, I'm using another Avon product. I really like their liners. This is, I'm not even sure if this one's available anymore, but it's the Avon Mega Impact Eyeliner in Rich Copper. Yeah, I don't think it is because I had this thing for copper and bronze eyeliner and it's just so pretty. So this says it's Mega Impact, and I think it's more like it's really a really soft pencil, so if you push it too hard it will, oh yeah, and the color just, it's got a really rich color payoff. It's a very soft pencil. A little goes a very long way with this one. And the problem with it, because it's so soft, it actually gets on my contact. That's something I don't like. Okay. Do the same with the other eye on the upper waterline. So yeah, this is not going to be a sharp look, like a dark look at all. Sometimes when I'm going for that really dark eye look, I'll use black liner on the inside, but today I just want it to be a smoky, blown out, bronzy look. I think this is going to be really pretty. And if you have dark eyes, this bronze color or copper color will really accentuate your eyes. And actually, even if you have blue eyes, it works really well as well. Like, it just makes your eye color pop. So yeah, I have a lot of issues with my contacts. So what you can do is just take a, whoops, I'm having things fall all over the place. Just take a Q-tip and you can go in if you're not afraid of touching your eye, and people who wear contacts generally aren't. I'm just going to clean up my contact a little bit. Okay. Better. So right now it looks very, very messy. That's okay because we're going to go in with some shadow and really blow out the lower lash line later on. So now I think what we can do is start building up the lid color. So I'm going to take a bit of a flatter crease brush. Both of my flat crease brushes have really dark shadow on from them before. I have not cleaned them yet, but that's okay because the copper shadow is going to overrule that. So I'm going to spray it with a little bit of MAC Fix Plus. And then I think what we're going to do, I'm just going to go in with the shimmer colors here. We're going to start with this really rich, reddy, sparkly color and apply that to the lid. Oh, that is so pretty, you guys. Oh my gosh, I love it. And then you can kind of blend it into the transition color using other colors. And then the other thing I love doing on these looks is always, I kind of stay away from the inner corner. I always like that lighter because it makes your eyes look further apart, especially if you have close together set eyes. But if you put a little bit of darker matte shadow on the outside corner of your eye, it draws attention also. It gives that effect that your eyes are spaced a little bit further apart. And then for those of you who have eyes that are a little bit farther set apart, you could do the opposite. You could do a halo eye, which is where you have a dark color on the inner and outer corner, and then you just focus the attention with a lighter color on the right above your iris. So that's really cool too. Maybe we'll do some looks like that coming up. Okay, so far I've just basically put this really pretty bronzy shade all over my lid, kind of up into the crease a bit. And now it's wet, so you kind of want to wait for that to dry. And you can see it looks really messy, but again, we're just gonna go with it and blow it out. And I think for some added effect, we're gonna add this kind of like brownie goldy color. Let's see what that does. Oh, so pretty. We're just going to put it on the center and just kind of give it a little bit more added depth. Like I said, we're going to add some darker color on the outside after. Put it all over the lid. Okay, we'll let that dry. And I guess while we're waiting for that, we can do the lower lid. There's not like any rule with this look, it's going to be blown out. Actually, we have to do our base makeup first before we can do the lower lid, so we'll wait for that. Okay, let's let our eyelids dry. And then once it's kind of dry, go back in with your initial blending brush. And I'm going to blend that back out into the crease using this warmer bronzy color. The one thing I noticed from this palette is it's very, there's a lot of fallout. So it's a good thing we're doing our eye makeup before we do our face. Okay, so we're just going to blend it out. As you can see, it's blending pretty nicely. It's going to look really pretty when we're all done. And this is kind of like a shimmery shade. I'd say it's definitely more shimmer than it is sparkle, more like a satin finish. And it looks crazy and really dark right now, but it'll look better, I promise. Okay. Yeah, that looks really pretty. Okay, and now we're going to go in and add the darker color. Whoops, sorry. So I'm just going to use this wide shader, E59 by Sigma, but I want a matte shade now because too much sparkle will take away from the eye look. So I'm going to try adding a little bit of this warmer brown color, and I might add a little bit of black. We're just going to try adding the brown first. Yeah, we'll have to add some black because that's not really... Whew. There's the black, you guys. Holy moly. So we'll just use this brush to apply the black, but not to blend it out. We're going to go back in with that original crease brush that we used and blend it. So go back in with the E40, like a wide tapered blending brush, and just blend. Go back and forth, but keep it concentrated at the outside part of your eye. That is so pretty. I think this look calls for some lashes. But again, when I'm blending out my concealer and my foundation and doing my mascara and brows, we're just going to zip through those parts because I really don't want to make this video like a 35-minute video. Okay, so the top portion of the eyes, I think they're done. So we never ended up using the MAC Mischief Minx palette at all, but we will show that in one of my looks. So for now, we're going to clean up under the eyes using a makeup wipe. I just use the Neutrogena makeup wipes. So just give it a few wipes. There we go, and you can see that line there, so that's actually perfect. That's what we want. And we want to just leave like all the shadow on the eye right now where it is. That's perfect. So when we start to blend some concealer will blend this out and it'll look really, really nice. So I am going to use my Smashbox Photo Finish Pore Minimizing Primer today because I want a very nice finish, and I will be using the Fenty Pro Filt'r foundation. So we want to have a nice base for that. Put some on the forehead, press into the pores. Minimize those pores, girls. Put some on the chin. Okay. And the shade I'm using, so this is what the bottle looks like. This is a fairly dark shade. It is the shade 290. It's a little bit of an olive tone, which is my skin color. I usually take a medium. And I'm going to start from the middle of the face and work my way out. And when we're done blending this in, we will continue on with concealer. Okay, so foundation is all blended out and it looks really, really good right now. I'm going to go back in with my Tarte Shape Tape concealer in the shade Light Sand. And I'm just going to add a little bit to the under eye because usually when I add a lot, I bring it up onto the top of the eyelid, and we've already done that. So, but I do want to bring it down a little bit and have a little bit of a lightening effect on the upper cheeks and in our usual spots on our highlighting areas. I look crazy right now. Okay, so take the pointy end of your sponge and blend out your concealer. Okay, so again, we're going to come back when we are all blended out. Alright, you guys, we're all blended out, so it looks pretty good, but today I'm going to use my F06 Powder Sweet by Sigma to just lay down some powder under my eyes, and I'm going in with my Coty Airspun Old Lady smelling setting powder. Can't even tell what era this is from. Like, I swear, it doesn't smell like, you know, sometimes those perfumes by Givenchy will smell a little bit older, but I'm actually, speaking of those perfumes, I'm a huge fan of the Amarige. That's one of my favorites. But this stuff just smells like, I mean, you'd have to go out there and buy it for yourself and just smell it. But when I first smelled it, I was like, I'm returning that. I do not like that at all. But the way it applies with most of my concealers and foundations, it goes on really, really nicely. Okay, I'm going in with my F20 powder brush and setting the rest of my face. It's going to be an all-nighter look, so we really want to make sure that the whole face is going to stay put. That's part of the reason why I used my Fenty foundation today. And we will set it with the Urban Decay All-Nighter Setting Spray. I'm really happy with the way the eyes turned out. I think right now it looks crazy because I don't have any contour on my face. I don't have any under eye, lower lash line going on. So it looks a little crazy, but we will fix that shortly. So before we cut you off again and do brows, I'm going to go in with my contour. As you guys know, my favorite one is Tarte Park Ave Princess Chisel Palette. Taking my favorite contour brush, the F50 Dual Fiber by Sigma, and we will use the warm toned, non-sparkle, always matte shades. Go in to the cheekbone and contour the cheeks. Sometimes I just kind of squish the brush together a little bit if I don't want it that blown out and I want it more concentrated in one little area. And then when you're blending it out, you can go back in and use the entire brush like this. It blends it out quite nicely. I'm going to add some color to the nose, and this time around the underside because I want to diminish the size of my nose. And on the forehead, warm up the temples. And I'm not sure if you can tell just by how little I've applied, but it's starting to warm up the face and making the eyes a little bit more balanced. And for this look, I really like a deep contour because it'll go with a really nice bronzy eye look. And while we're at it, we might as well add our blush because we're here. So I am actually going to use the Benefit Dallas blush. Like I said before, it's kind of a rosy, kind of a bronzy color, and it'll be perfect with this look because I don't want anything too pink, anything too coral. And I think our setting spray is just going to meld these powders nicely together and make it look a lot more natural, like there's not tons of makeup sitting on your face. Good. All right, so now we're going to go ahead, shake your setting spray, ladies. Always mix your product before you apply it to your face. Let it dry. You can do a couple coats if you want. Probably going to do another coat on the eyes. Sometimes it's almost better just to put one little layer and then go back in once that one's dried and add another layer. We're going to close our eyes and focus on the eyes now. And without opening your eyes, just give that a quick spray, a wave. And if you have a mini hand fan, those come in convenient too because you can just kind of fan your face dry. Okay. Good. Okay, so we're going to go to brows and we're going to get back to the camera. Okay, so we're back. Brows are done. Now we can concentrate on the lower lash line now that our face is done. So before I do lower lash line, I'm just going to take this original fluff brush I used to put that light color all over my eyes. And I'm just going to make sure that that top right underneath my eyebrow arch is a little bit lighter than the rest. Just to give it some balance, make sure it's not too blown out. That looks really good. And because there's a lot of shimmer on my eyes already, we're not going to add a highlighter to the brow bone. We can highlight the rest of the face though. Okay, so we're going to add, I think we're actually going to go back into the shimmer. So I'm going to take my E15 Flat Definer by Sigma, just looks like that. And because we already have that color on the lower inner waterline, we're going to go in with a dark but very sparkly, I can't decide between this color or the red color. I think we're going to stick with this color here because it's not quite as red. We want to keep the focus on the top but just kind of pull the look together. So as close as you can without hitting your eye, just right over your lashes and press the color in. And we're not going to go completely at the inner corner, we're just going to keep it mostly situated on the outer corner. But we want it to be no space between the color you applied on your waterline and the color you're applying now. And we will take a smudge brush and maybe just smudge the color out just a tiny bit. So I am noticing that the shadow is lifting up because it's got so many sparkles. So this sparkle shadow might almost have been better applied using like a glitter glue type product. It's just a really sticky primer to make sure that your shadow doesn't move around on your eye. So I'm taking this E21 tiny smudge brush. I might add a tiny bit more product, tap it off, and just kind of smudge that line out and make it a little bit more blown out on the lower lash line. Because by the time we put our lashes on, even your lower lash line with your mascara, it's going to look really pretty, really blown out. And it just gives your look a little something extra. So there you go. And even without mascara, that looks really, really, really nice. Okay. So I think the shadow is done. Next, let's go in with our highlighter. I'm sticking with the neutral Mary Lou because I've already got a lot of sparkle, a lot of color on my face. Don't want anything pink, don't want too much gold. We'll stay with this neutral color. I'm going to put it right above my cheekbones just to highlight the tops of them. And on my tip of my nose, down the bridge of my nose, my Cupid's bow, a little bit on the chin, and I think we're going to keep the forehead sparkle free today. Sometimes I like adding it right to the center, but I think this is good. And the last thing you can do, you can take a small pencil brush and add a little bit of your highlight to the inner corners, just to give them some brightness. And this doesn't always have to be a highlighter, you can add like a matte light shade too. And it gives it the same effect, just a little bit of an eye opener, especially if you have darker colored shadows on your eye. Good. So we'll do lips quickly, and then I will go off camera, do my mascara and eyelashes. And I promise you guys, soon, it is coming soon, I am going to do a natural makeup look with maybe will fit the individual eyelash, how to apply in the natural makeup look, because natural makeup looks do not take as long as this. So I'm using the Milani Color Statement Lip Liner in 04 Naturel. I'm outlining the shape of my lips. I'm not going to overline, but the gloss I'm using is very neutral and very pretty, and it'll make focus on the eyes more so than the rest of the face. And even though you can't really see this once the color is applied, it gives a little bit of a base of where to apply the color. So you should always apply lip liner, and it gives kind of like an outline as if you were coloring in a picture on a paper. Lip liner is always a good idea. And even on a natural day, I will still apply lip liner. I think it's all about defining your features, even if it's like a more natural of a color. So for lips, we are going in with this Becca Chrissy Teigen collab. It's called the Glow Gloss, and the shade is called Beach Bum. So it's very pretty. I don't think it has any sparkle. I'll show you when we put it on. It's very neutral and a little bit pinky toned. And it has a mint flavor or smell, and it feels minty on your lips. So I think it's just a shiny gloss. There we go. And it just pulls the whole look together. Okay, so normally I would do that after eyes, but because we're going to film off, and then I'll get back to you and show you the finished look. Okay guys, so that's the final completed look. So I just added some mascara. I used the Tarte Maneater in black to the top and bottom lashes, and then